Winter is a season when everything slows down. Trees stop growing, animals conserve energy, but we often expect our bodies to do the opposite. Today I want to share how traditional Chinese seasonal eating supports the body in winter, and why eating with the season can feel calmer, more grounded, and more aligned with life itself. Hi, I'm Jing. Welcome to Sparkable Journal. This is a space where we find peace with food and reconnect with our bodies through mindful eating, seasonal living, and traditional Chinese wisdom. Let's get into the bowl. In Taoist philosophy, there's an idea called 顺应天道, live in accordance with nature's rhythm. Tian means the natural world, season, climate, environment that we are part of. From this perspective, health is responding appropriately to where we are in time instead of forcing consistency. There's a simple concept behind this, yin and yang. It's nothing mystical. It's just a way of observing rhythm, activity and rest, expansion, contraction, movement and stillness. In that sense, winter is a very yin season. Energy moves inward, digestion slows, and the body wants warmth and softness. This is also where the concept of 节气 comes in. It's a traditional Chinese calendar system that divides a year into 24 phases based on climate and environmental change. I'll have a video talks more in detail about 节气, and I'll link it here. The point of 节气 is, instead of living by the calendar alone, it gives you a sense of time of where you are in the year and what your body might need right now. Living this way creates rhythm, and rhythm is incredibly grounding, both mentally and physically. One thing also makes me really love seasonal living is it adds a sense of ceremony into my daily life. It helps me feel more connected to what I'm doing, and it just creates opportunities to add enjoyment in life. I think the popular term is romanticizing life. So seasonal living is one of the ways that I romanticize life. Under this framing, food is not just fuel. It becomes a ritual. It becomes grounding. It becomes a small, meaningful moment in the day and in the year. Today's bowl is inspired by a traditional Chinese congee called Laba Congee. La refers to storing, preserving, and honoring of last year's harvest. Laba is a date on the calendar that falls between major cold and minor cold, and those are two of the 24 节气 on the calendar. Essentially, Laba is the coldest time of the year, where yang energy is at its lowest. So Laba Congee is a dish that is made for the coldest part of the year, designed to calm the body and help it store energy and honoring what the year has produced. It's about consolidation and care. The ingredients of Laba Congee usually are consisted of leftover grains, beans, nuts and seeds, and dried fruits. To be honest, I have never made a Laba Congee before, but this year, I really want to honor this tradition and create a recipe of my own. And this is also inspired by the fact that Paul's mom gave us a nut case. It's filled with local harvest in the Appalachian area. So I thought I could use some of that ingredients in this congee as a way of honoring my Chinese tradition and also eating locally, because eating locally is another concept I'm a big fan of. So I'm going to make a modern, personal version of Laba Congee. It feels very aligned with the original spirit of the dish, using what's local, using what's gathered and leftover from the year. This nutcase was given with care, and I'd love to use that ingredients and turn it into an intentional warming meal. Okay. Let me show you what I'm using for this Laba Congee this time. Starting from grains, we have oatmeal. Because I personally really love oatmeal, I always love the taste. And I got this sweet rice. I've never cooked sweet rice in a congee before, and I'm very curious to see what it turns out. Millet. This is actually very much used in traditional Chinese congee. My mom made it for me a lot when I was a kid. It is known for being very easy to digest, and it's good for people who are having digestive issues. So these are my grains. And beans-wise, I have azuki beans. This is my all-time favorite. I love azuki bean paste things in everything. And there's the Great Northern beans. And why I picked this one? Because there's one time I went to Whole Foods and I just bought a whole bunch of different beans. And this is what's left over in the pantry for me. So this is quite literally what's available. Nuts. So, black walnut meats. This is from Asheville Nuttery. I live in Asheville. And this is in that nut case that Paul's mom gave us. I feel like there's nothing more appropriate than using this. And chestnut, this also is in that nut case. And I didn't know how chestnut tastes before cooked. These are raw chestnut. They're not cooked yet. It's so sweet. I didn't know that chestnut can be this sweet. Usually they're just like mild with a little bit of sweetness, but this is really sweet. So I'm very excited to use this as a sweetener for this congee. I'm from south of China, where Laba congee is usually sweet. In northern part of China, the congee can be savory, but I'm definitely a sweet flavored person, so I'm definitely making a sweet version of Laba congee. This is lotus seed. Is also, as you can see, leftover. And just to add dimension to this congee, I want to use some of this. And then there's dried fruit. This is Chinese date. They are super sweet. Red dates is commonly used in congee because it just creates that natural sweetness. It's very good for women, especially for menstrual cycle and winter time. So how many is my ingredient? I have 3 grains, 2 beans, nuts and seeds and dry fruit, 4 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 ingredients. I am happy with this number because Laba, ba means 8. Although this 8 doesn't mean the ingredients, it's just a symbol of a lot. The idea of Laba congee is you have to use a lot of ingredients, which in my mind is at least 8. So now I have 9 and I'm happy with this. And tonight I'm going to soak the beans overnight so it cooks much easier. And then tomorrow I'm going to cook everything together. Wish me luck. Here's a 2025 holiday nut case explanation. I wasn't super determined to make a Laba congee before, but this year, because of this nut case, I'm very excited to take this opportunity to feel gratitude to this abundance of food that I have. Hopefully to feel that self-care and self-love as I am cooking this congee. And I'm now imagining how delicious it would taste. Or it might turn out terrible, but I hope not. Okay, let's get to cooking. What I love about meals like this is that they're not about perfection or rules. They're about paying attention to the season, to what's available, and to what the body actually needs right now. This bowl is to help you settle, to store energy, and feel supported through the coldest part of the year. Seasonal living and seasonal eating, to me, is about alignment. It's about feeling that rhythm and feel that sense of going with the flow. I welcome you to create your version of Laba congee using what's available and what's local, and make a version of congee for yourself. And if you use any interesting ingredients, please let me know in the comments. I would love to learn. The fun part about this dish is that it can be completely customized to your needs, and you might create very interesting flavors. I'm very curious to create my own version. I'm gonna see how it turns out this time. Alright friends, I hope you enjoyed this video. I'll see you in the next one.